Despite the fact DICE cut the development of Battlefield 5 short and failed to deliver on the staggering potential a Battlefield World War II game had, the hype surrounding Battlefield 6 is of course gathering pace. People are still very optimistic that this time round DICE can produce something brilliant. They have had far more development time when compared to BF5, and this, amongst other things, is why I personally am still remaining fairly optimistic for the release of Battlefield 6. The gaming world has a short memory, meaning that bad games and terrible releases are often forgotten, with people queuing up to get their hands on the next title moments after complaining about what came before it. In the case of the Battlefield franchise, this mindset might not actually be such a bad thing, especially if you're interested in seeing the game sell a lot of copies and people return to the franchise. Take Battlefield 4 as an example. Some of you may not have played that game, some of you maybe started with that game. It was an absolute mess when it released, and I seem to remember EA got themselves into some legal trouble as the game was that bad. The game was full of bugs, unplayable for some, and clearly still in an alpha stage, with far more time required to get it ready for the consumer. That was in late 2013. Fast forward to September 2014 and the full patch, the latest in a long list of updates that completely revitalised and honestly saved Battlefield 4 from what seemed like a terrible fate. DICE had fought to improve matters with patch after patch and had also taken community feedback on board to improve the experience. DLCs dropped very quickly after the game first released, and the steady stream of high quality content was great, but the game also needed fixing. DICE rose to the challenge and turned Battlefield 4 into a masterpiece. The best Battlefield game ever? Well, to some it actually was. My point is that people soon forget that games like Battlefield 4 were unplayable and had terrible releases, and then they start playing the game again, they kind of forget about it, and they go and buy the next one. Many people say, I'll never buy Battlefield again, or I'm uninstalling for the last time and I'll never pre-order another Battlefield game, only going on to pre-order the next one. In this case it was Battlefield Hardline. A lot of people bought that game and didn't like it and said the same thing, I'll never play Battlefield again. They might have hated it, but as soon as they saw the amazing trailer for Battlefield 1, they were pre-ordering again, and so it goes on. I'm certainly not saying that you should rush into buying the next Battlefield game and forget everything that has come before it, but don't be surprised to see many people do just that. Unfortunately for us, DICE do actually have a really good track record of both creating fantastic games and fixing them, but also butchering releases and bringing us the odd subpar game, so it's a bit of a gamble really to see which we're going to get. One of the main differences between now and previous waits for Battlefield games is that we've been waiting a long time, a lot longer than usual. 3 years between Battlefield 5 releasing and the next Battlefield game coming out is a long time, plus many didn't even play BF5 or at least stopped playing it after a few months. This means that some people have been waiting years and years for a new Battlefield game. If you're a fan of the modern series, maybe BF3 and 4, moving on to Battlefield 6 potentially could be the next title that's going to be modern, that's a huge amount of time. BF4 came out in 2013. That's going to be 8 years from that game coming out to its real successor. That's too long in my opinion. Battlefield 5 sales figures were quite low, whilst other franchises like Call of Duty brought out some really good titles, attracting large portions of Battlefield fans to those greener pastures. Many content creators also moved over. Quite a few of us did stay, or we maybe just kept an eye on what was happening with Battlefield, with the intention to come back if BF5 ever improved. That didn't really happen though, and the wait for BF6 seems to be longer because of that. How can DICE save this franchise? It does need saving, to be honest. It's not in a healthy position. Whilst other franchises like Call of Duty have been going from strength to strength, EA might be looking at Battlefield thinking unless something impressive happens with the next game, we might need to maybe take a view as to what's going to happen with the future of the franchise. I think DICE are almost out of good faith with Battlefield, Another BF4 style release, and I don't think people would stick around. Another disastrous launch like we saw with Battlefield 5, and I can't see people coming back from whichever game they're playing currently. This means the next game needs to have a clean release, and with that extended development time, as I alluded to at the start of this video, I personally think it has a far better chance. We need content that has that replayability factor. I want those good, memorable maps like Caspian Border, Damavan Peak, Karg Island, Propaganda, those ones that you just want to see remade in future Battlefield games. That's how good they are. I want the great graphics, which we know we're going to get, the fun gunplay and team-based gameplay, vehicles, infantry, loads of modes, all-out war. No other game quite provides what Battlefield does. If DICE do hit the nail on the head and they do get it right, they get that mixture just right, the game will be an instant success. It will sell itself, as Battlefield 3 did. Just release a few trailers, people see things that maybe they haven't seen in other games, in other franchises. They see the campaign, they see snippets of multiplayer gameplay, boom, they'll buy it. It doesn't need to be something brand new or incredible, it just needs to be really quite good, and DICE just need to hit the nail on the head with what we want to see. In the background you can see some Battlefield 4 gameplay from Altai Range. I'm in the LAV, a vehicle that is renowned for being a little bit buggy and is one of the worst really in Battlefield 4 for getting stuck on things and flying across the map, but it's really fun. And the reason I've included this little clip to look at just now is Battlefield 4 is quite old, it's from 2013, but it still looks fantastic. It runs really well. I get crazy FPS on the game. I think on consoles as well it runs really smoothly. It's just a great package since they patched it. The UI looks great. The maps, this is Altai Range, just looks fantastic. Such a good looking map. The terrain is really interesting. Whilst Altai Range isn't one of the best maps on BF4, it is certainly a huge, amazing map. Compare this to what we have on BF5 and it would instantly be a classic on Battlefield 5 if this was released. It just has everything. Plus, when you have vehicles that are this fun, as I unfortunately missed that tow, but I do hit a nice one in a second, it's got that replayability. You try and master different things in the game, and the tow missile, we don't have anything like that in Battlefield 5. It's the little things like that that these games have that just make you want to go back and play it. And it's not by accident. The devs have spent a lot of time, they put a lot of hard work into things like this to make it so good. Other things that I'd love to see that we've seen in Call of Duty, when you have a weapon that you want to add attachments to, I want to see the weapon on the screen and almost build my loadout. It's a very simple aspect of the loadout system. We had it in BF4 to some extent. We lost that in BF1 and BF5. People really love that. Content creators love that because you can showcase different things and make so much content based on that. People really enjoy seeing that, and that's something that DICE should really take a look at. Simple little changes that would definitely hook people in to playing the game. So the bottom line is this really. DICE will win us over if the next game is anywhere near the standard that they have set in maybe years before Battlefield 5 came out. Sure, some new buzzwords or gimmicks might grab your attention at first, or maybe the supposed 128 player count might get you to buy it, but what will make you stay and what makes a Battlefield game so successful is the replayability of quality content. It's the polish on that content, and you want to be able to see the hard work and dedication that I know the devs pour into the games they make everywhere you look. At least this time they have far more time to get it right. They've got a lot longer, 3 years in total from when BF5 released, so people have had time to get ready for a new Battlefield game, and they've definitely had the time to develop it. Apparently it's been in development for a long time. I'm optimistic for those reasons, but we will see. Teasers will start dropping in spring, which is only a few months away really. It's starting to roll up on us, and then it'll be a snowball effect, and come October 2021 we'll all be getting ready to play Battlefield 6. So thanks for watching. If you did enjoy, feel free to leave a like down below. Leave your comments. What do you think about BF6? What do you think DICE need to do to get it right? Can they turn this franchise around? Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.